Hello everyone and welcome to Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights, developed by Heavy Iron Studios. This game is rather large and rather complex structurally, so I'm going to load up at a place I think would best show off the game mechanics. So Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights is a 3D platformer, which is probably the genre Heavy Iron is best known for developing. And this game has a laugh track, which is just really adorable. But another thing this game is, aside from a 3D platformer, is a Metroidvania, as weird as that may sound. Pretty much everything you'll see Scooby do in this video, from double jump to attack enemies, was a power-up we've gotten at some point. This game as a whole is actually extremely non-linear, which you're not going to see too much of here, but I'll try and make sure you get the gist of it. This power-up we're using right now is just slippers and a lampshade, and it basically allows you to become completely invisible around enemies. So yeah, there's stealth, but it's pretty much entirely optional. We could also have snuck past this gargoyle if we wanted, but he's sitting on something we need. And I made a fool of myself trying to get him off his platform, but, well, we had to. There's something up here we want. Well, we didn't actually need to, but there is something optional up here that we want. Please note as you watch this that this is just one of many extra pathways, and I'm skipping most of them, which is not something you would do if you were trying to play legitimately. We just got a new sneaking costume, which is in fact the only optional power-up in the game. It works exactly like the slippers and lampshade, and we don't really ever need to use it, though it can be useful for combat situations. It feels weird saying combat in reference to a Scooby-Doo game. But yeah, you wouldn't normally skip any extra pathways because you need every single Scooby snack you will find. And I fell. I fall there a lot, and it's not that those things have bad hit detection. As you're seeing right here, it's just that I psych myself out. And I nearly fell again because I was getting too fidgety, but we made it. And for some reason I really wanted to kill this spider. But there are snack gates that require a certain amount of Scooby-Doo snacks in order for you to progress. So skipping any of them is not advised. Trust me, as someone who spent a lot of time playing this game, no matter how many snacks you think you have, it is not enough. And let's go around the other way, why don't we? We could have busted through those cobwebs, but we need these keys to open the door ahead, so it would have been in futility. So, the game also has key collection, which isn't as hard as you might think. The keys are usually in very obvious places, just hidden behind monsters, or across platforming challenges. And what I'm trying to show you here is that approaching head-on isn't working. So we're going to go invisible for a bit, and try to surprise him, which would have worked if I didn't jump right into him. But you could see what I was going for. So you could see from that section that by no means is this something new to platforming, but it is still pretty well designed basic platforming. And we're going to use the Black Knight suit to show you that even if the enemies run up and touch us, they're not going to do anything, which makes it ideal for sneaking up on them, because they do take a second to realize you're there. When I played this game through the first time, I wondered what the point was in the sneaking outfit after you get your offensive capability, and I'm glad I managed to find a use for it. Well, this just looks all kinds of nuts, so we're gonna save real quick. And then get back to this craziness. So there are several mechanics in play here. Of course, it's storming outside, so that thundercloud's gonna roam around and zap the puddles, and we don't want to be standing in one of them when it does that. The puddles also make us slip and slide around, which makes it impossible for us to attack and would have left us open to the creepers if not for our sneaking suit. Making full use of all of your abilities is the key to success, and the game never becomes like super difficult or anything, and all of the checkpoints are placed rather generously.
It's a werewolf!
The game has plenty of legs through virtue of its non-linearity alone, though, and it's also surprisingly long. What makes this even more impressive is that Heavy Iron rarely reuses any art assets. Some enemies, like the Headless Spectre up here, don't chase after Scooby directly, but just walk back and forth in a set pattern. They're much easier to deal with. They still won't hurt us if we use our sneaking outfit though, so they're susceptible to our normal strategy as well. Up here we have some pretty standard platforming hazards mixed with bats flying overhead to ensure we have to time our jumps precisely. And you know, using enemies in conjunction with platforming hazards is one of the basics of game design, but this game does it fairly well. And there's a puddle there which would trip us up if we didn't charge ahead of time. One of the neatest things about this game, though, is that the design unfolds itself as you play due to the virtue of being a Metroidvania. And hold on here, there's kind of a tricky jump. There we go. The game benefits immensely from the fact that you can actually see pieces of design that you can't use yet, but you will be able to eventually, sometimes hours later. You're not seeing too much of that here, but that's because these areas are trying to prepare you for what's up ahead. Uh-oh, looks like Shaggy's in trouble, and we'll get to him right after we collect these Scooby snacks. Sorry, Shaggy, we gotta keep our priorities in check. Something that helps spice up the design is that Shaggy appears at several points along the game, and he helps you by offering new mechanics. Like right here, he can throw us up much higher than we could jump normally. We can also jump again after he hurls us into the air, though we do have to make sure we aim ourselves properly first.
Away we go! Geronimo!
For some reason, pressing that button causes a witch to grab Shaggy and drop him in a chimney, which may seem entirely pointless, but no, trust me, there's a use for it. Also, now seems like a good a time as any to point out that this jump sound effect is also used in Heavy Iron's SpongeBob games. So yeah, this mechanic right here is pretty much the best thing, and it's one of the many reasons I chose this section to represent the game. I mean, come on. That's great. And there's just a few more jumps before we get to one of the most unexpected things about this game.
It's a warp gate!
Ah, the infamous Scooby-Doo. Allow me to introduce myself. I am the Mastermind. I'm the reason you're here.
You are?
I'm the one who made Professor Graham disappear.
You did?
I'm also the one who's brought back all of your old foes.
But why?
That is a mystery you will never solve. And one more thing. I'm the one who's kidnapped all your friends.
Wilma!
Scooby-Doo!
See if you can get past this fiendish fright. You remember the Black Knight.
Wilma! He disappeared!
We'll worry about that later, Scooby. Watch out! It's the Black Knight!
Oh no!
Hold on, this is important. There we go. Right, so in addition to having the best music, the Black Knight is a pretty fun boss. He's not doing much right now, but if we zap him with lightning, he'll start hurling axes at us. His axes also attract lightning, and we don't want to step in the puddles for obvious reasons. He throws new axes each time we hit him, up to a maximum of 3.
Watch out, Scooby, the Black Knight's coming for you. Better not be too slow now, you wind up with Velma too. Scooby-Doo running, looking after clues, chasing after villains, Black Knight after you. Every day's a mystery, some folks call it blue.
This game is pretty great, you guys.
Chasing after fools.
My glasses! Help me look for them, Scooby.
Okay.
Something fishy's going on here, Scooby. We solved the mystery of the Black Knight ages ago. Have you found any clues?
I don't know. There was a spooky groundskeeper.
A spooky groundskeeper?
Yeah, and ghosts and monsters.
Scooby-Doo, you know there's no such thing as monsters and ghosts. Remember the first time we met the Black Knight? We thought he was a monster, but really he was just a guy in a mask. Aha! I found him! Jinkies, the lenses got knocked out.
Here's some lenses, Velma.
Thanks, Scooby. I can't see a thing without these. Jinkies, Scooby, it's the Creeper!
The creeper? Where?
He's everywhere! Run, Scooby!
Velma, wait! I don't see any creeper.
Why, hello there.
Hello?
I'm Professor Alexander Graham. And you found one of my amazing invention crates. Let's see now. What's in this one? Oh, here we go. Well, inside this box, you should either find my automated herring scraper or my anti-stick galoshes. Oh, looks like it's the galoshes. With these, you can walk across any sticky surface and not get stuck. And best of all, they're banana flavored. Oh, banana. My favorite.
These might be useful.
Right, so now we have the galoshes, which allow us to jump and attack in areas covered in tar, which we couldn't do previously. And here we have the monster token for the Black Knight, which allows us to view him in the gallery later, and another warp gate, which allows us to warp wherever we please.
There's a warp gate.
I should say wherever there's another warp gate, and you can see this game is pretty large. This is just one of the 3 areas in the game. Sorry, 4. One of the 4 areas in the game. And now we're back in Smuggler's Cove from a couple hours earlier in the game, and now that we can jump and attack in tar, we can get through here. So this game is really fun. In addition to having some pretty solid platforming challenges, it's a rather unexpected genre, especially for a licensed game, and it captures the spirit of Scooby-Doo very well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.